Hey guys, Sean, Lesson for Dummies. I promised 90 gram and the M17, so here goes. I'm gonna remove my 16 gram from the Valken car stock. This is a very primitive expansion chamber. You look back in history, paintballers have been using expansion chambers for a very long time with huge success. This is my best attempt at it. Normally they're in a vertical position. They have layers of filtration, either in the form of discs or desiccant, neither of which are inside this. Currently it is just a hollow tube. And really this is a proof of concept. So ideally I want this 90 gram to just work like this, but it may need some further tweaking. Previously a 90 gram in the back of an M17, I've had mixed results. Generally, it's a Hail Mary and it blows your O-ring straight out the front immediately after charging the marker. Not after letting it sit, I mean charging the marker and beginning to fire. Same goes for my VKS, FSC. They all have the same problem, but my TMC on the other hand seems to love the 90 grams. So does my Spider. Umarex love them, and most of those markers work almost without issue. There's always going to be issues, but for the most part, it's like a 50-50 split. So we're trying something completely different here. Well, not something completely different. Something that has been used for well over 25 years. All right, so let's put some CO2 in here. But first we will a couple of drops of oil. Right in the hole. Just gonna screw it in like this just because I want my oil to run into the marker before I tighten it down. Now, clearly, this is not ergonomic in any way. For testing purposes only. Now, if something like this were to work, there are a number of other ways you could rework this so that you could use this 90 gram. But let's go. Let's charge it up. Charged, bolt clicked, sear locked. 8 gram joules in a 684 8-inch Lapco. I have a critical situations bolt spring, and I have the one and only, the original Wixon detents in here. And if you don't know, now you know. They are by far the best detents. Well, they're the only detents. I chased the M17 for a number of years, fell on deaf ears. I don't have printing capabilities, and there's some other things that go along with that. You know, a little bit of design skills, computer skills, neither of which I have much of that I can say would have done me much good. Along came John. He listened, he designed, he printed, and it changed the M17. And the biggest thing with these guys was balls rolling out the barrel. It was comical. It was such an easy fix that nobody wanted to touch. Again, John, thank you very much for listening, and keep up the good work. Enough said. Let's fire this bad boy. Just in case, let me make sure my trap is down in the back here. That TMC sounded like it was knocking the back of the trap right through my meat curtains. But I do have a solid piece on the back in any case. I expect this will do the same. $332. And it fired very smoothly, actually. Previously, 90 gram directly in the back, you could tell it just was not happy. 90 gram in the buttstock, that had a whole different feel to it, guys. But it's too soon to tell. 326. 314. 310. Probably should have checked the actual gauge here. So, well, I won't be able to show it to you without taking it off, but it is showing. Well, I'll try. I don't want to point this thing in my face, obviously. I can kind of point up at the roof here and sneak in. And it's still a full cartridge. It's showing 700 after a couple of shots. CO2 does cool. And the TMC was rock solid, and it's a completely different firing system. The VKS, FSE, M17 are all going to kind of behave the same with CO2, where it's just going to be a constant fall. This CO2 is ice cold right now. Put a couple more down there. And as I talk and blabber, feet per second creep up a little bit. Actually, let's talk a little bit more. It looks like that might have been the last. Well, I had one more shot in there. I'm gonna load Cannon Riot balls in there. They are optimal for that particular barrel. I'm gonna just give that CO2 a chance to warm up a little. Oddly enough, I don't know it. Okay, this looks stupid, right? But it actually feels it's almost the way my forearm rests here. I don't know, it feels very comfortable. And the balance is right in the right spot. It's kind of pulling this, like I can go right to my sight position very nicely. I'm thinking what I might try and do actually is 45 this maybe back and under. Yes, I could put it right in the back, but we already know that doesn't work. And this is working. So you can't argue with something that works, right? Okay, let me go grab those riot balls. 9.9 gram Cannon riot balls. I put a full mag in there, it's 8. I don't know if I'm gonna fire all 8. You know what, maybe I'll shoot some BKs here in a sec. .292, and that sure sounds like it's hitting the back door. Just had to check, guys. The meat curtains is still new. It is working really well. If you haven't watched the last few videos, it's catching the light balls like it's nobody's business, and I'm very happy with that. And I would like to thank the viewer that suggested that. I cannot recall for the life of me whether it came via email or is in the comments. But damn, why didn't I try that sooner? And if you haven't, try it. $26. $274. $272. Should be one left. All 8 shots. 7 shots. Holds 8. Always leaves one behind. For whatever reason, this one leaves one behind. My other magazine leaves 2. Go figure. Don't know. Paintball markers. Just so happens I have some BK Kinetics. These are bore matched to a 685. My lap goes to 684. Not ideal, but Labco barrels do have manufacturing tolerances. The one, the only. And how many more do I need here? I was gonna say something important. Oops. Clearly, I forgot. I got excited because the 90 grams working in the M17. You try enough times, you will succeed, regardless of what other people say. All right. Oh, I know what it was. These are 8.1 grams. Pretty sure they're 8.1 grams. They might be slightly heavier. So sorry BK, sorry DK. I'll double check before I put my little in the bottom. Oh, and I got a lot of afterthoughts today. LLM, Less Lethal Machines. Thank you for the little tip on looking in your window of your M17 or your Cqmf. Where's my flashlight? Because if you don't follow his channel, it's a good channel to follow, subscribe to. If you can see the line, see that? Well, in this case, it's a vertical line of the BK, and it's perpendicular. It's loaded correctly into the breech. Thanks for that tip. $302. $300. $294. $278. $276. Oh, sorry, I got a jam. Shape projectiles, regardless of the brand, can have that tendency to jam. It's just a fact of life. There are ways to mitigate it, and this one didn't even jam that bad. And I'm gonna be honest here, guys, the SMG mag that I'm using there has where did I put my flashlight? Has a very weak spring in it. It is not suited well to our heavy. Let's see if I can get it better. Come on. It almost loaded. But then the brakes. Hey, there it goes. Well, A little bit harder to push that purge valve with the big canister on here. Guys, I'm excited about that. Now, will this transfer over to an FSC or a VKS? Absolutely, it more than likely can. But you know, M17 is my baby. I've always had a love for this guy, and I love it when a plan comes together. 90 gram CO2 in M17. Have to shoot some more, obviously, to test for reliability, but it doesn't get better than that. I've never had that many shots on a 90 gram out of an M17 before I shot the O-ring out the front. And this is a V2, no brass orifice. Like, subscribe, share, comment if you love the M17.